This is the eufy E28 Omni robot vacuum and mop combo. The reason it has actually stayed in my home is simple. It tackles sticky, messy floors and daily dust without me babysitting it, and it does it quietly enough that I forget it is running. This sits in the category of all-in-one robot cleaners, the kind that vacuum and mop, and then take care of their own mess at a base station. It is best for busy homes with pets, kids, or both, and for anyone who wants floors to look consistently clean without adding another chore to the day. If you are the type who wants to set schedules, run a quick kitchen clean after dinner, or let it handle a whole level while you are working, this fits right in. The design matters more than I expected. The robot has a low-profile look with a matte finish that hides fingerprints and scuffs, and the base station is solid and purposeful. It is larger than a simple charging dock, so you need to give it some real floor space. It houses clean and dirty water tanks, a dust bag, and the portable deep cleaner. The robot itself is a little over 4 inches tall, which looks fine, but it does limit where it can slide. It glides under my sofa, but not under the lower kitchen toe kicks. The roller is a spiral design that can reverse to pull hair into the bin, and there is a fold-out arm that reaches into corners and along baseboards. That little arm sounds like a gimmick until you see the dust line disappear from the edges of a hallway. Setup was straightforward. I plugged in the base, filled the fresh water tank, popped in the dust bag, and paired the robot with my wireless internet through the eufy application. The application walked me through mapping the house in just a few minutes, and the first map was surprisingly accurate. Room detection worked right away, and I named areas like kitchen, hallway, and living room without redoing anything. I set a cleaning schedule for weekday mornings, and I used the quick clean buttons in the application for targeted runs after meals. Responsiveness is good. When I ask it to start a zone clean, it leaves the dock within seconds. Voice control works, but I mostly stick to the application because the options for water level, suction strength, and precision mopping are easy to adjust there. The core cleaning performance is what sold me. Suction is rated at 20,000 pascals, which on paper is a big number, but what matters is what it does on carpet and tile. On my thick area rug that traps pet hair, it pulls debris that my last robot consistently left behind. The DuoSpiral brush really helps. Long strands of hair do not wrap around the roller as often because it automatically reverses and unwinds them into the dustbin. On hard floors, it is strong enough to lift sand that gets tracked in from the patio without blasting it sideways. Mopping is where it separates itself. The base keeps separate clean and dirty water. During a run, the system keeps the mop wet with fresh water and periodically scrubs the mop against a scraper before continuing. That real-time rinse matters when you hit sticky spots. I tested with peanut butter and jam on a tile section of my kitchen. The robot identified the resistance, stayed on the spot, and ran multiple passes until the shine came back. It did not smear a haze across the floor because it was not reusing dirty water. After cleaning, the base blasts warm air to dry the mop pads. That simple step prevents that musty smell that used to make me pull off pads and dry them by hand. Navigation feels confident. The robot uses a front-facing camera with red, green, and blue illumination, and a ring of sensors to recognize cords, shoes, and pet toys. The object recognition is not perfect, but it is noticeably more careful than older bump-and-turn robots. It approached a charging cable, slowed, and rerouted instead of eating it. It also cleans at night with the lights low, and it still avoids pet bowls and random socks. Mapping is fast. It builds a 3-dimensional map inside the application that makes it easy to create no-go zones or set exact areas. It is not guessing by feel. It knows where it is. In daily use, I let it handle the downstairs level, about 1,200 square feet, on a single charge. I get roughly 2 hours per run on a mixed routine of vacuum and mop. If it needs more time, it returns to charge and resumes, but that has only happened during deep cleans. The base station holds about 3 liters of dust and debris in a sealed bag. For me, that means emptying every couple of months. Removing the bag is clean. Slide it out, toss it, slide in a new one. No clouds of dust. I ran a bunch of real scenarios. The dog dragged a muddy toy onto the couch. I pulled the portable deep cleaner from the base, attached the upholstery tool, and sprayed and extracted the stain in a few passes. It is not as strong as a big dedicated carpet cleaner, but it is enough for fresh spills on fabric, mattresses, car seats, and small rugs. It saved me from hauling out a separate machine, which is exactly the point. For the kitchen after dinner, I set a small rectangular zone that covers the cooking area and dining table. The robot starts with a vacuum pass to pick up crumbs, then mops in a tight pattern, and it will return to rinse the mop if it detects extra resistance. Sauce spots and juice rings come up without me reaching for a manual mop. If I want a very thorough pass, I enable precision mopping. It slows its movement and adds overlap, and you can see the difference on dark tiles. On carpets, I keep a medium suction level most of the time and toggle maximum for a weekly deep clean. Maximum is louder, but even then it is less intrusive than older models I have owned. I can take phone calls in the next room while it runs. On weekdays when I work from home, I let it clean while I am at my desk. The motion and the sound fade into the background. There are smart touches that actually help. The application lets me adjust detergent dispensing automatically, so I do not measure solution every time. The robot senses when it rolls onto carpet and lifts the mop to avoid wetting the fibers. The corner arm flicks out and sweeps dust from the edges into the path of the roller, and it does a convincing job along baseboards. The application gives a clear report after each run with a map and a time estimate, so I can see if it skipped a room or needed extra passes somewhere. The camera and the red, green, and blue illumination help it work in dim rooms, which I use for late-night cleans without turning lights on. It is not perfect. The robot's height means some low furniture stays dusty, and I still have to use the portable deep cleaner or a handheld vacuum there. The base station is wide and tall, so you need to commit a corner to it. It only connects to 2.4 GHz wireless internet, which in my house is fine, but if you rely on 5 GHz only, you will need to enable the slower band. The portable deep cleaner is for quick spots, not for a whole room of stained carpet. You will still want a bigger machine for major jobs. Those are trade-offs I can live with because the daily convenience is strong. The longer I have used it, the more I have leaned on the little routines. Saturday morning, I send it to do everything. It vacuums rugs, mops tile, returns to rinse the mop, dries itself, and I do not think about it until I get a notification that it is finished. Weeknights, it only does the kitchen and the hallway. When family comes over, I do a rapid clean of the living room while I wipe the counters. It is set it and forget it in the way I wanted. The combination of suction, the self-cleaning mop, and the corner reach means I am not chasing missed patches. If you have pets, kids, or a schedule that does not leave much room for housework, this is worth considering. It keeps floors looking consistently clean with almost no effort. If your home has a lot of very low furniture, or if the footprint of a larger base station is going to bother you, you may want to measure first and think about placement. For everyone else, especially in a mixed floor home with carpet and tile, the eufy E28 Omni earns its floor space. It is dependable, it is thoughtful about how it cleans, and it actually reduces the number of times I reach for manual tools. I will share detailed information about the eufy E28 Omni robot vacuum and mop combo in the comments section. Everyone, thank you for watching.